What's up, guys? My name is DJ Shady, and welcome back to another smoke tutorial of some sort. Anyway, I felt the need, right after my recent D rank to make a smoke tutorial, an EU smoke tutorial that clearly, because I am so superior at the game compared to others, that I must, show my skill off in terms of just sitting here in a lobby and I don't know what I'm saying. All right, it looks like we are ready, and I'm gonna be showing you guys a lot of cool smokes that you could impress your friends with, or your never to be seen again solo queue. I wouldn't say friends, teammates, but go ahead and use these smokes wisely, and hopefully you realize where I stole these from or how I figured them out. Anyway, some of these I figured out myself. Some of these I stole, obviously. Didn't really steal, but just with time I kind of, developed and worked on and shit. So this first smoke is pretty much by plethora. At least he was the first person I noticed used it. And, they pointed it out in the game, but I think I'm like one of the few people that actually decided, hey, I'm going to try that out and work on it myself. So I figured out exactly what he did. And what he did is he found this dot and aligned it with this little dark spot right there. I was gonna say indent, little dark spot, and he kind of ran left and jumped right as he hit this little thing. So right as his crosshair kind of, let's say he's like this, then he jumps right as he hit that. So you're gonna hit this little thing, and right as your crosshair. Anyway, so it smokes off Sniper's Nest. It's pretty cool. It's not very easy to land, but I've kind of worked on it. And it smokes off Snipers. It's a really fast smoke. It's easier than throwing it from top mid or this other one. The fucking I can't even. Yeah, it's easier than this one. I don't even think I could do it, but let's see if that works. Is this gonna work? Yeah, no, I can't do this one, but this one, finished. So now we're gonna move along to another smoke I stole from Kerrigan. He used this in a pro game, and he completely, faked his way out into making his way B. Obviously, he threw some sort of like flash that way, I think. I really don't want to get flash. Anyway, he tried to make it look like he's B, and then obviously he went palace. That's pretty much what you gotta do is you gotta look right here. You see this little like first window? There's like 3 window type shits. This one, and then like look at this fence over here where this little curly thing this little excuse me, where that curly thing kind of collides with this pole. Anyway, it's very hard. And if you overdo it, which, I mean, a lot of people overdo shit, including myself with my editing, if you really put a lot of force into this smoke, you might hit a skybox. So you kind of want to do a little bit of a walking jump. And not really a walking, but you don't want to do a far run. You kind of want to not do that because you don't want to damage that carpet. Let's fuck. Remember that spot? There. That should... please. That should... Actually, I think I didn't do it enough. But yeah, it should. Here, I'm gonna finesse it for you guys because that's how committed I am to YouTubing. You want to go a little bit of a running, but you want to let go kind of early, but not a little bit too high. Hopefully my explanation was acceptable. Here we are, and it goes all the way onto B site. And yeah, I mean, it sometimes might not work. Obviously, if it's 64 tick, because I'm on beautiful 128 tick. Anyway. It might not always work, but it kind of resembles the bench smoke from here. This isn't a neat trick. That's like one of the easiest smokes in the game, but it looks kind of like that. Not really, considering that lands here right in front of the site, and this lands like to block off bench. That's why it's called bench smoke. Anyway, it's pretty much like anyone playing Van or Cat or something's like, what the fuck? There's a smoke. I heard some sort of flash that way. It's not A, maybe that's good enough to sell the fake. If you're versing silvers, forget about it. Don't even question it. You're going to fake all of them. They're all rotating off TT, and you get the 1v4 clutch, and you lose because it's still a 1v4, and you're not gonna win, but, you have something to brag about, I guess. Alrighty, so here we got a plethora of smokes I've got to show you. A total of 3. Some of them are being used differently, but one of them is going to be to smoke off jungle. What you want to do is you want to look at this little bar thing. I don't know what this is on the floor, but, line yourself up in the middle and look at this building kind of at that level, but make sure you're not hitting this little the stair thing, and kind of throw it. It should be smoking off jungle. Depends on how tight it is, will show this gap. This is a decent gap. I mean, you know, whatever, what can you really expect? But I've shown the smoke before off, I think in like a smoke tutorial type shit as well. But I mean, yeah, it's good enough if you're on like a T retake, or if it's a retake and you're on the terrorist side and you kind of have someone like Triple or some shit who's trying not to worry about jungle. I don't know, whatever. It's a useful smoke if, you know, if you're in silver, don't even worry about it once again. But yeah, here's another smoke for Tetris if you're, for whatever reason, in like you know, exit situation where you're just trying to get a few exit frags. This is a one-way smoke, and you kind of want to hold both buttons of your mouse and just chuck it in there, and pretty much you kind of get stuck, and you get yourself a nice one-way. You can see lower, you can see palace. I'm gonna kind of show myself. This should be head level, and obviously we're gonna see it because show impacts are on, but you should not be able to see the head. And same could be said for palace, I guess. I haven't really tested it for palace, but I know for a fact it works for lower. And if you're a Tetris, there shouldn't really be anyone palace, but whatever. Anyway, now that you're here and someone died near you and you have another smoke that you could throw, you could line up in this corner. Obviously, I'm kidding, but if you're already out here and you're like, guys, what the fuck, silver 3, no one threw a CT smoke, fuck, there's an upper there, shit. And you gotta throw yourself a CT smoke. So I learned this one. A lot of people apparently use it. I've seen like more pro players use it, but I never actually seen anyone use it before when I first used it. Some people like throw it over here. I look at this, just use this little window type. What the fuck is that? What is up here anyway? That's a fucking window. Like, what? That shit's just randomly there. Anyway, look at that little window thing once again, and look at that bar. And let go of your smoke, and it should land for CT. It's a pretty decent smoke. The other ones where they throw, it kind of hits this shit. I don't know. There's a huge gap over here with the other smoke, so I found this one to be better. And if anything, it's like the real deal. Who knows, you know? So say you're underpass, and you want to throw some sort of B. You want to throw some sort of A fake. Line yourself up in here. You know, I don't know. There's a lot of uses that you could use for the smoke, but pretty much you want to line yourself up into this corner and look at this little pipe type shit. There's a little pointy thing a little bit to the right of it, and you should be able to throw it all the way over the building, and it's yet another jungle smoke, boys. You know what I mean, not jungle, but like jungle cross type shit. There's also some like deep connector or top connector smokes, and there's some deep jungle smokes, but those aren't really useful. This is one of the mainly useful ones, combined with a stair smoke. I really cannot speak because I'm Nova 3 now, right? So here we are, near the top mid area, and I've also shown a smoke from this area. I may have shown this smoke as like a bonus or something, but I have perfected it, yet to perfect it. Anyway, this smoke, one of the smokes that I've shown before was like this, and it's kind of like the connector cross. I'll show that in a bit. That takes 9.5 seconds to land. Does it actually? I don't know. I mean, you guys could count. Anyway, this other smoke, you kind of want to, you see these like 4 windows? Line yourself up right in between, you know, the 2 on the left, 2 on the right, and right on the top of the building. And throw a nice jump throw, and that should land mid-sight. Here's that other smoke, by the way, if you're kind of trying to cross cat or some shit. Anyway, here's the mid-sight smoke. This is useful if you're trying to plant inside the, you know, right where it's open and shit. And pretty much it's a perfect lower plant, you know, get yourself in there. And the only way you're going to really plant there, unless everyone's at B, you got to stay safe and plant that bomb in the open inside of smoke, you know. Here's the other method of throwing the said smoke. Kind of line yourself up in this thing and look over this brick. Could be here, but yeah, just throw it like that. And it bounces and smokes that out perfectly. If anything, this one's better, but if you're trying to throw some sort of fake and you don't have a CT smoke fake, you can throw this one. But speaking of a CT smoke fake, you already know, I've probably done this already as well, I think, but this is a AU smoke. That's a fact, all right? You want to look at this little blob as you enter this corner and go to the left of the blob and kind of running throw. You're going to want to do a running throw plus a jump. Way too complex, boys, but yeah, it shouldn't be very hard, and it should be a decent CT smoke, enough to make someone, you know, confused as to why it's CT. You could actually make this a little bit better. It could land like over here, bounce off this, and then end up like falling over here type shit. But anyway, this is decent enough. You guys should understand it. It just depends on how much you run and when you jump. But yeah, it's good enough for a CT, as long... That's the mentality with CSGO. Good enough, you know? You want to have a good enough smoke to land mid-site, a good enough smoke to land CT, and then, you know, you'll be good. And you got a nice fake, and you'll still die to that one guy who throws a pop flash on balcony, and, you know, you'll end up just losing. Maybe you'll have that one guy that clutches, but you could avoid all that. How? By smoking off balcony. Yes, yes, guys. You see this little thing over here that I showed you guys earlier? Forget about it. Move a little bit over to the right. Actually, I think it's... Shit, I think it's this one. I'm sorry. I'm not prepared at all. But there's like this panel over here, and you want to look, and... God damn it. Look at the third little... whatever the fuck these things are, and move to this line, but a little bit to the left of the line, kind of aligning yourself... so many lines. Aligning yourself with this and the third, right? Like that. And you should, now keyword should, if it's good enough, it will work. Smoke off balcony. There you go. You know, this is a great smoke if you're trying to defend from this guy. You know, that's obviously great. Or you could obviously just throw like a pop flash like this and kind of just kind of throw like that. But up to you. You know, if you want to make things more complex and good enough, then you could use both methods, right? Okay. I guess we're going to kind of conclude this awkward video with another smoke that smokes off arches. So as I showed you guys earlier, there's one smoke that throws like that, and it smokes off get right, or whatever this is. This, right. I think it's the right. Yeah, it's the right from this side. But then you're like, shit. They could come here and do more damage. So you want to have another one where you pair it up, line yourself up into this corner. I think you stay crouched and you look at the top of this light, and you do a jump throw, and it kind of bounces over all these little monuments and buildings, and makes this mysterious way over into this. So if you compare it with this, you get a beautiful, very, very intelligent... What the fuck am I? Very intelligent strategy, and pair it with someone Palace who could lurk and throw this smoke that I'm not gonna land. Let's get it. Where is it? Over here, where they intertwine. Let's see if that works. Does it work? Watch it be like the finessed version. Nope, it was still kind of shit. But you know, pair it with that, and it looks like you got a B hit, and then these three go underpass, and you got a guy Palace. I don't know. Work with that shit, and then you got another guy who's like, oh shit. You know, we want to go back B. Let's pretend like we're actually hitting it. And then you do that. And then there's a guy that's lower who decides to throw three smokes. One that's a one-way, and then one that goes over here like that and throws off CT again. Despite your fake, I don't know, guys. Enjoy these smokes if you're bored with the game like myself and are still fucking Nova 3. You know, you could use these smokes and not get better in skill. But I think that's it. I'm going to conclude off this video. Thank you guys all very much for watching. And cue the outro song with that random and all the other kids with the fucked up kicks. I don't know the lyrics to my own outro song. Fuck. Okay. Thank you guys very much for watching.